Black Ops 4 started off as a very solid Call of Duty title. The movement felt good, the gameplay was a bit faster and more fluid than World War II, we had blackouts and multiplayer and zombies to grind out, and overall it seemed like it was going to be a great year for Call of Duty all around. But that all ended up changing pretty quickly. The game stayed pretty hyped up for a little while. We saw Operation First Strike come and go, then we saw Operation Absolute Zero, and right around the time when Absolute Zero was added in, the game started to become a bit more controversial, and slowly but surely over the coming days, weeks, and months, as we saw new updates and new operations introduced into the game, we saw controversy after controversy and issue after issue arise, despite the community being very vocal about what it is they thought was going wrong time and again. We have joked a lot on the channel in the past about there always being that one drawback to each big update. And despite there being some really cool things added into the game with the new patches, there was always that one thing, that one major drawback that completely overshadowed the rest of the updates and generally gave off a very negative vibe more than anything else. Unfortunately though, those jokes became a lot more of a reality as time went on, and now here 10 months post-launch, Black Ops 4 is definitely not in a great state. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy playing the game for what it's worth, but I can't help but think the game could have been in a much better state, all things considered. So now with Operation Apocalypse Z Part 2, otherwise known as the Survivors event, now live, and with only one operation left now before Modern Warfare takes over as the primary Call of Duty, I wanted to sit down and kind of just openly talk about the closing months of Black Ops 4 and discuss the topic of, is there any hope left for the game at this point? But before we get into all of that, if you are new here and you want to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. And of course, if you do enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. Anyways, a little while back, I made a video talking about the end of Black Ops 4, and that video was more so encompassing the remaining content that we know is due up in the closing months of the game. And not so much, I guess, the physical changes that the game could use to have a better send-off, at least in my own opinion. Now for this video, obviously we're going to be breaking down whether or not there is any hope left for Black Ops 4, and in order to actually get the answer to that, I feel like we have to take a look at the major issues that are now in the game, and the potential incoming updates that could combat them, and or add in some more worthwhile and positive features. As of now, in my mind, the three biggest issues that Black Ops 4 currently faces is monetization, lack of innovation, and also unequal attention. So let's break down those piece by piece, starting with monetization, as this is probably the most touchy subject and also the largest at hand, as the monetization has pretty much single-handedly caused this game to shift into the negative light ever since it started bleeding into the black markets. Now at first, honestly the black market wasn't all that bad. Sure, we had those $2 reticles and the shop items were pretty lackluster in general, but we didn't see the reserve crates constantly bundled with everything like we do now and all things of that nature. But when Grand Heist rolled around, we got the ability to save reserves through the dedicated reserve tab, and this is where things really started to go south in my own opinion. As far as the tiers go, they weren't awful. We did still have some DLC weapons available in the tiers during Grand Heist. However, with the ability to now stockpile reserve cases and crates, Treyarch/Activision, I do think there is some blame that is shared there, but I'd put most of it towards the latter. Regardless, with Grand Heist and the ability to stockpile reserves, came the influx of high-quality, highly sought-after content that was exclusively available in the reserves. For instance, new Mark II variants, better mastercrafts, and eventually DLC weapons as we got even later into the year. Now, that was not necessarily the worst monetization-based practice in the game, since technically you could earn all of those items by playing the game naturally and unlocking cases, crates, and bribes. But the system was built and was modeled to very clearly push buying COD points to spend on reserves, so that is a thumbs down from me. But really, where the monetization overload kicks in hard is in the shop. And the first thing that seriously worries me about the future of Black Ops 4 and any possible hope and saving grace that might still be out there is the fact that I truly think that the shop just got the worst pay-to-play or pay-to-use model that we've seen yet. All year long, the shop has had its ups and downs, but for the most part, I haven't really had the biggest issue with the shop, since here at least you know directly what you are getting. You know exactly what you are paying for. However, in the recent months, we've seen more and more new items get bundled with reserve crates for the sole reason of upping the price of these items. And now with the new Survivors event update, we saw the new items bundled with dupe protected reserve crates, which increased the price even more than before. So now for an outfitting game, you can pay $20 or 1/3 of the total price of the original game. For a camo, you can pay $16, so on and so forth. If there is to be any hope left for Black Ops 4, that cannot continue. Off the bat, it kinda sucked that the shop often has items for sale that could have very easily been a tier in the contraband stream instead of some random sticker or reserve case. But now, when these items, although they are cosmetic only, cost absurd amounts of money, it really is just a massive slap in the face to a lot of players. Sure, you don't have to buy the items, it is not necessary in the slightest. However, you gotta admit, most of the best camos and outfits and things of that nature end up in the shop rather than in the tiers, or even in the reserves, which at least you can earn naturally. So that is definitely the biggest drawback across the entire game in my mind that needs combating ASAP if Black Ops 4 wants to go out on a better note. Next up, we've got lack of innovation, and I'm not gonna lie, I mainly made that a point because it does rhyme with monetization, and frankly, I do think the way I say it can come across a little harsher than intended. Frankly, Black Ops 4 did a lot of things, a lot of innovative things I should say, that I did really like. Blackout, by and large, is my favorite game mode. I love the operator mods for the most part in multiplayer. Reactive camos and things that progress throughout the game like Dark Matter are really cool, but there was also a lot of missed opportunities this time around as well. All three major modes in the game, multiplayer, zombies, and blackout, have dark matter available to unlock, yet it is the same dark matter camo all across the board. I feel like having different colors of dark matter could have been a really cool thing to see. Big missed opportunity. Operator mods are a never-before-seen feature in Call of Duty, yet not all of the weapons have operator mods, and we haven't seen that many DLC weapons feature them either. Once again, big missed opportunity. This list honestly could go on for a little while, but for the sake of time, we'll just move on. But you get the point. There is quite a bit of innovation in Black Ops 4, but did they truly make the most out of what they had available? I'm leaning towards no, unfortunately. Moving on though, the final main point for today is going to focus around unequal attention distributed between the modes this year. And we've talked about this a bit on the channel in the past, but Blackout, as much as I love the mode itself, really seems to be the golden child for this game. It seems to attract the most attention when it comes to how frequently updates are occurring, how impactful the updates are, etc, etc. Multiplayer and zombies do get their fair share of updates, but not nearly on the same scale as Blackout. And that is weird to me because most players aren't focusing on just one mode in specific. Most players are probably playing a little multiplayer here, a little blackout there, maybe some zombies in between. But the way this game gets updated really seems to push you towards blackout, while multiplayer and zombies way more than anything, just kinda gets left in the dust. Even this operation with Apocalypse Z, this is a zombies themed operation, yet Blackout has gotten more zombies related updates than the actual zombies mode. Don't get me wrong, like I said, I love Blackout and I love seeing new updates come to it, but maybe not so much at the expense of the other modes in the game. So with that being said, is there any hope left for Black Ops 4? I would say yes, if the three major things that we mentioned in this video are somehow combated and addressed in the final months of this game. But if these issues continue to remain prominent, then honestly, I don't see the end of Black Ops 4 being particularly well received by the community. Anyways, that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. So if you guys did enjoy the video, let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated and it does really help the channel out. And of course, if you are new here and you want to stay on top of everything going on in the world of Call of Duty, ranging from leaks and rumors to news and updates, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on. That way you'll always know when a new video goes live. As always, be sure to use code IMMORTAL to get a discount on all G Fuel, Control Freak, and Respawn products. All of those links can be found down in the description below. And once again, thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.